I was like, no, I'm not, Joan. I'm serious. I'm just trying to be nice like you. She said, I'm a bitch. Please be a bitch. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
She was funny. She was funny because, like I'm saying, I mean, she told me on her show, she said, this is when the cameras were off. She said, oh, Freddie, you're such a bitch. I said, I'm not trying to be a bitch. I'm just trying to be nice like you. She said, I'm a bitch. Be a bitch. It's good to be a bitch. Yeah. And that was, I don't know.
Yes.
You didn't.
I love Joan to death. Oh, God. I used to watch her all the time. Especially that Fashion Police. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. She used to get them. But still, she had a nighttime show in which if a girl showed up with the same dress that she did, she would always pull out some piece like she knew the gay audience was watching.
Yes.
She'd pull up some piece and say, hold it, I've got
and it was called Bitch Stole Her Look. Bitch Stole My Look.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was it.
Yes.
That was the girl. That was the girl. That was a good old girl. Loved her.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about, the Joan Rivers show?
It was at the time that we did Joan Rivers, we did Phil Donahue, and we were just doing a couple of daytime talk shows because Paris is Burning just hit that summer, and we ran there and did it. That was it. It was something that I don't know, because I think Miramax, who had the rights to the film, they set that up, and we was just definitely agreeing to do it because for Kim, me, us two, it was about letting them see our clothing, the fashions that we can create, and getting that out there. So more connections, just like I'm saying, Joan Rivers became a client of Kim. So in her being a client, she had a dress or two of Kim's, and that was it.
Wow. Now that is ballroom history right there.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing was, there was a controversy surrounding, Kevin Ultra Omni, Jenny Livingston, and the Paris is Burning documentary. Did the stars of Paris is Burning sign a contract to be paid to do this show or documentary, or what? What is? Let's break the ice. Okay,
well, I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna say, the way it went was, we were all told that it was a school project. These release it, so it give them permission for her to show the film in school.
Ooh.
And we had agreed to it because it being a school project. Now, Avis Pendavis told Dorian, and I remember her saying it to a couple other people too, that this happened before with somebody else. I can't remember who exactly. And this man did all this footage and shot them, made them think that they were going to be something and somebody, and it didn't go nowhere. And just like Ava said, time is a circle so many times, and it comes back around.
Right.
And the same thing happened. We did sign contracts. We did sign something. And I think, I have to get you in touch with Dr. Saul, because he got supposedly a contract from them, and he can answer this even better than I can. But he's gotten a copy of the contract to find out what was written and what was said there. And that was it.
You might have to slip me that contact, darling.
I'm going to have to slip it to you. I am definitely, yes.
Work. Wow.
Yeah. There's a guy who has a book out, and in the book he talks about all the money Paris is Burning has made and everything else, from seeing it on Showtime and seeing it on Netflix and seeing it everywhere, and how much Jenny got paid and how much she didn't pay everybody who was in the movie.
Wow. I heard Jenny Livingston got sued. Do you know who sued Jenny Livingston and exactly for how much? What the settlement for
I don't know. That actually to me is a surprise and shock because I wish I knew who did.
Wow. I know Junior LaBeija was also on Paris is Burning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you had him on, correctly?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet. But we won't spill the tea yet, right? We won't spill the tea yet. Okay. Okay, I guess so. There's no use of asking, if there were being any royalties paid out to any of those.
Oh, please. That's a joke of Paris is Burning. And that's the reason why that book was so interesting when we read it, because Dr. Saul sent me a copy of it. And, I mean, Paris is Burning has made millions of dollars. And we don't see a dime of it. Also, Paris is Burning is on in the Guinness Book of World Records as number 62 of the top 100 documentaries of all time.
Word.
So, yes, we are legendary. We are, that's
amazing.
That's Guinness.
Congratulations to the ballroom scene. Yes, and Paris is Burning. Jenny Livingston, Miramax. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's talk.
But like I'm saying, there is no royalties coming to us from Paris is Burning. Shush. We're lucky we got a check. If anything.
Wow. Let's talk about Avis Pendavis. Talk about let's talk about ultimately, the passing of Avis Pendavis.
Oh gosh, that took the heart out of the ballroom scene because, I mean, pretty much the ballroom universe somewhat revolved around Avis Pendavis. If you got arrested today, you called Avis an hour after your arrest, and she would be sitting in the courtroom, with either your lawyer or whatever until you came up.
Ooh.
And as far as it goes, Avis sewed for everybody in the ballroom. She knew everybody's dirt. Like I'm saying, it was pretty much like a part of the heart of the New York ballroom scene, because everybody kind of circulated and circumvented everything through Avis. If I wanted to know any news about somebody and I hadn't seen them in 6 months or a year, I'd call Avis and say, Avis, do you know about this person? She'd say, oh, yeah, this child was da-da-da-da, and tell me all they dirt.
Yeah.
Tell me where they live, who they living with, if they in an abusive relationship, if they cheating on their man. When I say everything, okay?
Wow.
Yeah. And Avis was very intelligent because she was among the board members of GM. They actually asked her to help them create the House of Latex.
Wow, that's my house.
So, she, there was a plaque, and I remember seeing it one day when I was going through, working in HIV. I asked Avis, Avis, what's your name doing up there in GMH? She said, oh, child, that's something I did with them. House of Latex bullshit. Next. And that's how Avis was, and she always imparted that to everybody in Pendavis. It's not about what you're doing and shouting it out. It's about when other people see it and get to acknowledge you.
Yes.
You're busy with the work, so
yes, very busy.
See? Just like you're busy with your work, what you're doing, giving this information and everything else to the ballroom community, and anybody else who will listen.
Right.
So you don't have time to be tooting your own horn.
Okay, but you know what? We just reached 30,000 listeners, so we're doing a good job so far.
Okay, great. I'm loving that.
Did you attend the ball in 1995 when Kevin Ultra Omni gave out Avis Pendavis' trophies?
No.
as one of the last survivors of Paris is Burning and one of the last living original, many people in the scene feel that you should have been deemed an icon by now in the ballroom scene. Do you feel that you should have been deemed an icon in the ballroom scene today or by now?
You know what? I'm going to take it in this way. I'm going to say this. I am not at liberty to answer that due to the fact that those who deem me a legend will give me that, and those who do not have to.
Work. I know that's right. I heard back in the days there was no such thing as legend statement stars and all that deeming stuff.
Please, you only, there was only legends, and that was it. You became a legend, and as far as it goes, that was it. Because after you were legendary, and you became legendary 3 times in a category to be that considered, iconography.
Wow.
All these categories, all these names and everything else, I'm loving it. They are Webster's dictionary, and, it's great. They have a sense of acknowledgement and awards that everybody gives themselves, and it's wonderful.
Wow.
Just like Saul said about in the movie about feeling something or trying to be something and not being anything.
Right.
That's great. And I say it as the Prince of Pendavis.
Because a lot of people in the ballroom.
And notice the question you asked right before that.
Right.
Should I be considered a legend or whatever? And the whole thing, I said, I cannot answer that. Because it's not my place to say, oh, yeah, I should be No. If you want to give it to me, fine. If you don't, that's cool. I know I didn't walk. I know enough ballroom dirt. It's all good because I was around the kids, the, very popular ones at the time. It's all good. But I'm not out there trying to impress myself by giving myself no title or anything else. I am who I am. I'm confident in who I am. I do me. Just like I told you, I'm relaxing, and it is what it is. How I relax is very, very comfortable for me.
Word.
So each person has to have their own.
Well, you're important to me. If that helps, I love you down.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that.
Forever. And I'm going to spill a little secret. When I seen you on Paris is Burning, back in the days, I had a little crush on you. You're going to get.
Thank you so much. It's so funny. I did know. I met somebody who is like 11. I was 11 when they were born, and they met me, and shout out to Cristiano.
Yes.
And I have to say his name like that because he is such a tall, sexy drink of water. God knows if I was, I'll say 20 years younger, then trust me, I would take that man. Woo, the things I would do to him, trust me. Porn wouldn't even have saw it yet. Okay?
Yes. You.
Yes. Please, the things I would do to him, oh, God, no. I'd have to buy a new bed every 2 weeks.
Wow. Let's go into that. Let's rewind a little bit. How do you feel about some of the elders in ballroom saying that you have to walk consecutively for 25 to 30 years in order to be, an icon? Because a lot of people in the ballroom scene don't see it. The whole icon, legendary, pioneer. They don't see it because they feel like it's unfair. And ballroom has spread out, throughout the United States and throughout the world by now. Where people have been doing their own thing before legend statements and deeming and all that came out. So. And they consider themselves as, legend statements and stars and icons and pioneers, so.
I say it like this. I mean, each part of the country is different. And in each part of the country, you have to understand, accept, and acknowledge them for their system. Our system in New York is different from the system in another state. So we had